guess what? A guy brought me like 12 knives. I did 2 of them already. And that one, I think, is one of them I've already done. And it cuts like that now. So let's toss it over here, pull out whatever knife. Okay, I have to help that one, so let's hurry up and get it fixed. All right, let's do this. We're gonna run it through the V a little. We're gonna profile it, take off very, very, very small glitter. I don't even know if you can see that right there. Very small glitter. I'm profiling, sharpening, taking out some of the nicks and the problems, the flat spots, stuff like that. Now I'm just gonna come back here on the handle so it's really loose, run it forth and back like that. So why do I run it forth and back instead of back and forth? Do you realize it's physically impossible to go back and forth? You must go forth before you go back. All right, let's see what we got now. Oh my God. So I didn't even get around to doing this. I'm gonna do the tip of the blade like that. Put a little pressure on it out there because a lot of it is taken up in the flex of the blade. Just like this. Take the wire edge off. Polish it. And yes, it sticks, catches, and takes the blade off, and it is that. It is that sharp. All right, so let's hurry up and do another one. All right, and yes, hey, that sharp. All right. All right, this time I'm going to cut the blade a little bit. Ooh, big piece went on the floor. I moved in on the table so you can see I really am cutting some metal off the blade. If the knife is horribly dull and you do not cut some metal off the blade, you will never sharpen that knife. It's impossible to come to a sharp apex if you don't take some metal off the blade. So then we just do this again. The guy told me it's been a very long time since the knife's been sharpened. He's paying me $2 a knife. All right, so let's see what we got. Oop, that's pretty good. Okay, so now we do this again. 15 degrees, come right on out here. Turn it over, come back at me, away from me. I watch the blade change. Because I've done this so much, I can see what the blade should be to be done. Just like that, that. If you don't do that, it won't be sharp. All right, make them cut like that. Okay, for a kitchen knife. Yeah, I can't hang on to the paper. So anyway, we do this again. Oh, good grief. Okay. So that's that one. We'll grab the next one. And, oh, my. That one's dull. Ooh. You can push that far into your hide. Okay, so again, we just hurry. We're gonna cut. Oop, that was a good one. A little bit softer blade. I can tell soft blades because the metal's easy to cut off of them. And believe it or not, the softer the blade, the harder it is to put an edge on it because the blade, the cutting edge, the apex, actually bends and runs away from the sharpener. The harder the steel is, the more you can cut the steel off and the sharper you can make the knife. So we do this, right on out, down here. Do the same thing here, like that. I get a lot of people, vendors, that bring their knives here and let me sharpen them. And I do it all the time. If I wasn't doing a good job, if it wasn't sharp, they'd never pay me to do the knives. So let's do this, that. And let's see. Okay, for copier paper that's a little thick, let's make it a little bit better because I see some chafing on the paper. So somewhere on that blade isn't quite ready. So let's do this. Let's go right on around, cut, put a little pressure on it. Notice I'm not 90 degrees to the blade. I turn it like this and I turn it like that. If I don't, it'll fall in the little nicks and cut its way out and make it worse. So you don't want to make the little nicks worse. Just like this, like that, like that. Let's see what we got now. Oh yeah, big change. All right, got another one. All right, so let's see. No. Okay. Cut a little metal off, reprofile it. If it's been 2 or 3 years since the knives have been sharpened, you're going to have to take 2 or 3 years worth of metal off of that blade to get the apex back where it's sharp from the heel to the apex. If you do not take off metal, you cannot sharpen the knife. That's all there is to it. If you have a knife that's actually really sharp and all you're going to do is drop it, so to speak, I've never stropped a knife in my life. Have no use for it. Why? I don't want the edge that fine. The finer the edge, the more you damage the edge because it's thin. So just like that. So now we do this. And I know I'm going fast and you asked me to go slow, so I'm going to slow down on one of them. But I want to get a bunch of them done. You look at it in real time. Okay, that's sharp enough. That's sharp. All right. Do this little knife. Okay. Oh my. He told me they're well used. So I'm going to come in here where you can maybe see a little metal coming off the blade. People go, a little? My God, there's enough there to make a new knife. Well, believe it or not, there's very little metal there. It just shows up good. All right, let's quit that. Do this. Come right on out, right up to the point. Turn it over. I'm sculpting the blade with a piece of carbide that in a machine shop would be called an insert. An insert, I'm going to turn it like this, has 90-degree corners. You can see the grind marks from the factory. That leaves little tiny, what you might call nicks and problems on the edge. Do not be concerned about those little problems because they're really not problems. The only problem is between your ears. So we do that. Now, have you got something for me to sharpen? Okay, we're just going to cruise right on into your knife. Plenty sharp. Okay? So now we have a customer, okay, that's handed me his knife.
Could be a customer.
Well, you sure could. Oh, lordy.
Yeah, I know. That's
all right,
butter knife.
so, yeah, it's that dull.
Oh, my. This will be a dramatic change.
Yeah. So we reprofile it by running it through the V, press just hard enough to take little tiny stuff off. Okay, the bigger stuff that's on that table came off of that saw blade right there, and I made the saw blade, half of it, into a knife. They don't press too hard. Okay, then start getting lighter and lighter. Now I'm just polishing the blade to help take some of that wire edge off. So let's see where we are now. Okay, that's better. All right. So if you have this in your pocket every day, you do little minor tune-ups and never let your knife get dull.
Show me that. What do you got?
Just like, okay, it's called the poker chip sharpener. It's got the same carbides as the big one, as the other one. Just like that. Run right on around. Right on around like that, like that. Then we touch it light. Then we flip it every pass, go to 15 degrees, which is way over here, way over here, way over there. Run along like that. Notice I've actually moved from here out to about there so that it's kind of floppy. That is my pressure gauge. When it comes up and touches my thumb, quit pressing on it. So that's how I take the wire edge off the blade. Let's see if I'm there. Okay, that needs a little more. That's actually really was dull to start with. But you didn't know that, did you?
Yeah, I could tell that was a dull knife.
I'm going to actually rip some metal off of it so that I actually get there quicker. It's been a long time, I think, since you sharpened that knife.
Yeah, I got that with a bunch of other knives, and I didn't really check it out.
Yeah.
It was inexpensive. So.
Oh, okay. That's sharp enough. If you make a knife too sharp, it won't hold an edge because the actual apex, the actual cutting edge is thin. Now, even if you're like 22 or 25 degrees, 50 degrees, whatever, it isn't thin people say, oh, it's way too thick, it'll hold an edge. Well, the actual edge that cuts is very thin. And so that's why I tell people, don't get too carried away on making it sharp, because you'll have it so damn sharp that it won't hold an edge.
Yeah. Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, no
Appreciate
problem.
it.
You take care and have a good day.
All right, you too.
See you later. All right. Same thing. I bet he's used every one of them until they won't cut anymore, which is smart. You're going to bring them to me. I'll sharpen them all. It's just like a belt. Oh my God, this is really pulling the metal off. Okay, let's quit at that. It bites. Now we do this. Right on around. Right on out. Just like that. What I do, I've done this so much, I'm so good at it. People say you can't possibly freehand edges like that and everything. So compare what I'm doing to this. If you see somebody fast draw in 0.29 of a second, tell them they can't. Of course they can. Why? 20 years of practice. Oh. Sharp enough for a kitchen knife. All right. Oh, we got a bunch of them. Same. So, okay. I'm going to hold still. Look at how shiny the cutting edge is. That means that cutting edge is absolutely flat. So we profile it quickly. If I make $5 every time I sharpen a knife, I got easy $60, $70 in that bucket. Just like that. Reprofile it. Don't lean on it hard like that. I want to see some metal coming off, but I don't want to see big chunks of metal coming off. So we come over here again. Just like that. Right on out. This. When I really work, I actually sweat. This is not like real easy. It's kind of easy, but you have to work. Okay? It's like explaining to your wife why you came home with an $80,000 pickup. You're going to have to work. I might should have run that one through the V-notch a little bit more. I can feel it starting to bite the blade better this way, so I know it's getting sharper. Okay, a little more out here. I also like doing this because when I see little glints of light on the cutting edge like a facet of a diamond, then I know it's still flat right there. Oop, I can see that right there pretty easy. But it is definitely getting better. That's actually pretty sharp. I'm just going to run right to the V. Cut some metal off. If you keep your knife tuned up, you never have to take this much metal off at one time. I've said this before and people laugh at me and say, oh yeah, your edge is so damn weak, you have to. Okay, I tune them up every time I use them. How long? 15 seconds. Why? I don't ever want my knives dull. And if you tune them up just a tiny bit every time you use them, you never have to do this or even press hard enough to see any metal coming off the blade at all. With a whetstone, there's metal also. Take your whetstone and wash it onto a piece of white copier paper and let it dry. You'll see the metal. You just don't see it on top of that whetstone. Like that. And then as you put water on the whetstone, you wash the metal off. And then you kind of claim that, oh, my whetstone doesn't take metal off the blade. Hell, it don't. Just like that. And the more coarse the whetstone is, the more metal it takes off. You just think maybe it's not taking metal off because, oh, it's a whetstone. You don't take metal off with a whetstone. Oh yeah, you do. Just Just like that. Not as good yet, but well, geez, that's sharp. Now, is it sharp as a 6,000 grit stone? Absolutely not. Do I ever try to compete with 2,000, 4, 6, 8, 10,000 grit stones? No. Why? I'm not fool. Okay, so let's see. Nope. That one's typical. All right. Just like that. People say, yeah, but it scratches up the side of the blade. Well, the actual side, no, it doesn't. It can't. But the side of the cutting edge, yes, it does. I say, if that really actually makes a difference, then you have a little sissy girly knife that's too pretty to use. Everything you do to it, every time you touch it, is probably going to do something to it that you don't like, so you just don't touch it. You don't use it. You brag about it. I don't want a knife that all I can do with is brag. It's never going to happen. I want to use my knife. This is how hard I use my knives. Look at the back of that blade. See how it's all beat up? It doesn't bother me to take a rock and pound that through a barbed wire fence. Do that with your little sissy knives. So we do this. Right on around. That. Okay, now we got to lighten up on it. Stop peeling any metal whatsoever. Polish the blade. Just like that. And let's see. That's good enough for that one. So, we'll work on this one. That's a toothpick. That's been sharpened a few times, but not recently. Okay. And no, it doesn't catch at all. All right, we'll run it through the V. Oops, that blade's got a bend in it, just like that. It's like seriously bent. That's for cutting around corners.
How to sharpen a bent blade?
Yeah, how to sharpen a bent blade, just like that. All right, let's see. That's pretty close. Oh, wait. Got to dip it in snake oil. Just like that.
There.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
It's a little bit soft metal. The softer the metal, it's like trying to get a sharp edge on a candle. It's probably not going to work. Just like that. Nah. Wait, I got to do this. I can actually see the cutting edge. So out here we do that. And this is kind of funny. You ready? As I use it, my hand is unscrewing the... Oh, it's a sharp and spark. That was a good one. Let's get this done. Like that. This is Brad Buckner, Sharpensbest.com. You take care. Like I've said before, if you think I cannot do what I say I'm doing, bet me. Put some money on the table, put your face on camera, make a video, put it on, get with Chance, put it on my YouTube, get it hooked up, make a bet, and we'll put a couple of $1,000s on the table and we'll see who walks away with the money. Bet me I can't do what I say I'm doing. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.